right. Well, tonight, guys, you are in for a treat. I say tonight, I don't really know what time you're listening to this, but the brother I have on tonight has been in the comics game forever. Not to make him sound old or anything, but just a storied career from the Ninja Turtles to storyboarding at Marvel and Hasbro. Like, just he's done a little bit of everything. But of course, you may know him as the creator of Midnight Tiger. And that's what he's here to talk about, along with his company, Studio Skye Tiger, whose website is just relaunching. So we're going to get into the nitty gritty, the nuts and bolts of this business and his comic book offerings. But before we can do any of that, I got to introduce him to you. So welcome to the show, Mr. Ray Anthony Height. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. That was an excellent introduction. Let me tell you this. As always, with all your content, it's like I told, our guy who I put you in contact with, said Brandon is, first of all, intelligent, comes with facts, understands assignment. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what you're talking about, and you're clear, and you do your research. And plus, your love of this industry, it kind of comes off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got that energy. So I love that. And that intro was actually perfect. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I thank you, man. I thank you. I try. I try to do my research. It's funny. We've actually met before. I don't know if you remember this,
No,
but we met at Heroes Con. Would that have been this past year?
it
Probably.
had to be 2 years ago.
2 years ago? That
Yeah.
makes sense. I
Yeah.
don't. So the clue will be what we were talking about. We were kind of gathered. It was a meeting of the minds. I want to say we were standing in front of Greg Elise's table. And there was
Oh,
a
that
lot.
sounds familiar.
It was just a whole lot of black folks talking comics, and we were talking about a particular Kickstarter project at the time. And that's all I'll say because this is a public interview. But I remember my man Danny introduced me to you, and it's like I have a policy. Like, I don't, if I'm not like crazy familiar with somebody's work, I'm not gonna go up to him. I'm especially not gonna go up to him and be like, "Hey, man, I got a YouTube channel. Like, check me out." And that year, Danny was like, "Nah, bro. Like, I'll just introduce you to like everybody." So it was like you, Stephanie Williams, and somebody else. But he was just like parading me around, like, "Nah, y'all need to connect. Like, you guys should know each other." And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool, right?" And because I'm a relative newcomer to comics, I started reading comics in like 2019, and so for me, I'd seen your name around, maybe just because I frequent a lot of black comics spaces. So I'd seen your name a lot, but the first time I remember reading a book, seeing your name on it, and being like, "Yo, that is dope," was this one right here. This is the DC
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Recharged, and you've got a Batman story in here. It's Batman and Signal. It's Jace Fox Batman
Yes.
with Vita Ayala, and
Yes.
man, the art on that story is just phenomenal.
We can talk about that too. We
Word.
got a minute.
Okay. Okay. We're recording this. It's still Black History Month. I get to get all my black stuff in right now.
Okay.
While the algorithm's loving it. So,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Man. Wow. So yeah, so if you got that,
mhm.
and let me ask you a question. Did you come to that after or before we met? Because I remember that meeting now.
This was after. This book was after.
So it was Heroes because I've only been in Heroes one time.
Mm.
Unfortunately, because I've been pretty busy. But that time was incredible. I had such an incredible time at Heroes Con. And when you mentioned Stephanie, I was actually searching for Stephanie because that's the same year I met Asia Simone.
Yes.
So, and Asia was on my show, and we talked about that meeting. So this is all circular, man.
Right.
So yeah, I'll tell you like this. Most people have seen my work, but the thing that has been very notable with me is that when I'm on a fill-in or something in Marvel, I do my best to try to adapt to the style of the main illustrator. So, I mean, we've all read a comic where somebody does a fill-in and the fill-in artist isn't the same.
Hmm.
It's like a shock. I never wanted to do that because I was the person that had done that. Like, I used to read X-Men, and it's not to say that the fill-in guys weren't great, but you're looking for a seamless kind of thing. And I was like, if I'm gonna do this, and they're not giving me a book to basically start, you like I'm the main guy, then I'm gonna try to make it so the reader feels very like not missing a beat,
Mm-hmm.
not pulled out of the story. And so, because I care about story, like that's just a backbone for me. Um, but yeah, so everybody, so people will come to me as like, you did that book, you did that book. Like they'll have books and they'll talk about an issue, and I'll say, yeah, I drew that, and they're like, well, I thought it was so and so. Good, because that was the point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really start doing my own thing, especially at Marvel. I had issues where I could be me, but I'm a bit of a chameleon. I have a base style, but I'm a bit of a chameleon. Very few people can pick me out no matter what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I that's kind of it. So when we, to segue that into the Batman Signal story, I had, and this is going to be a big jump. I had after George Floyd, and let's get into that. Black History Month. I ended up making a statement on Twitter when Twitter was not, it's still a cesspool, but not the cesspool it is now. And I had made a statement about, to Marvel. And I was currently working at Marvel pretty regularly. And I had said that, hey, they put out that statement, in solidarity with all the things that's going on. They all put out that statement.
Right.
And I was like, well, don't talk about it, be about it. And that means that you need to hire more Black creators. You need to hire more Black editors. You need to, help promote more Black characters. Marvel does better than DC,
Yeah.
but they could do more because they have a lot of Black characters, truly, right? And so um, they reached out to me, and they were like, well, what can we do? What can we do to, I mean, we had a great conversation. It was somebody who I really, really, really like to this day, and we're still friends, Ricky Perdine. And he was great conversation and everything. And, I want to say they made changes. I don't know if they stuck, but the conversation was had.
Mm-hmm.
That was the point where somebody was like, hey man, you really don't speak out like this. I was just angry. I was upset. But so I was like, yeah, and it's like you should do that more. You should talk more. People want to hear what you say. And ever since then, I've been, my filter has been thinned.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been speaking out more. And also at the same time, I thought to myself, uh, you know, maybe I need to go back to Midnight Tiger because I was getting stuff from people who were reading Midnight Tiger and they were like, hey man, why don't you go back to this? We need more of this. This is cool. And I was like, okay, so it's this and this. And so it wasn't till after I got Star Wars Dr. Aphra,
Mm-hmm.
and I was on that, and that was big. Um, that my dad was kind of sick, and I had to take care of him. He had multiple myeloma, and I think it had just come back or something like that, and it wasn't looking that great. So I had this big job. I had a lot of like fanfare with me working on this book, and it was great. I had some of the best editors in Marvel working with me. It was fantastic. But at home, I was, had to go take care of my dad at his house. So I had a decision to make. I was going to work on Dr. Afro and, have somebody else try to take care of my dad, but it's just me. I'm an only kid.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an easy choice. Let's put it that way.
For
And so
sure.
yeah, I let them know this is it for me. You know, and they were super supportive. They checked in on me all the time, but I had to let go of that book.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say that was the second to last thing I worked on in Marvel, and I had made that decision. I'm going to just do it for myself because I was in a bad way for a couple of years, but it was a call. So I'm a stop there. I'm sure you got things you want to ask, but
No,
that's some of the stuff backstory.
You're good, man. You're good. It's funny, the first time I have a guest on, because everybody seems to come back, which is great. But the first time is typically like the oversized origin special, right?
Yes.
And we got to do it. So
Yes.
I want to time travel a little bit back to the beginning. But before I do that, I'm curious because you brought up just kind of not these aren't your words, but like being a sort of chameleon, right?
Yeah.
Like adapting to the style. And when you were talking about that, like that reminds me of Mark Bright, who
Yes.
phenomenal artist, but it's like you can't necessarily pick his art out of a lineup depending on which book he's on. Like I just got that the Armor Wars omnibus,
Yes. It's
and it's
very
like
different.
it's very different. It's like you can see, especially like in when he does black faces, I feel like that's where he shines above like most artists of that time.
Definitely.
Like just authentic features. But beyond that, his penciling style is like there's times where he starts it and the other dude finishes, and there's other times where like the other dude is completely drawing, and it's like I can't tell, make heads or tails. I can't tell who's who.
It's
You know?
beautiful.
Right, right. But I feel like I don't know. I guess because I'm a '90s baby, it's like we're so used to like hyper stylized art,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so it's like I can pick out a Todd McFarlane or Jim Lee, easy. Um, but what's interesting to me about someone like Doc Bright, I got an icon page in front of me right now, and it's like I can clearly tell that's him. And then when you go look at
Yes.
like Quantum and Woody, it's like so there's times where he's flexing,
Oh
but
yeah.
there's also time where it's like he is doing the job and servicing the work.
Yeah.
And I think that takes a lot more skill than people think. It's like the term house style seems like pejorative, but it's like, nah, like to be able to adapt and flex like that, like and weave in and out of styles, like that's crazy.
You know, you hit it, and I like Doc Bright. He was definitely somebody that I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. That's dope, right? So it's not me coming out of the ether with this idea. Like I've seen people who I admire do it, because Icon was one of my favorite. Like really the top three, which is Static, Icon, and Rocket, and Hardware. That was like that was my thing. Not that I didn't like the other ones, but I was like regular. I don't think I missed an issue.
Mm.
But and the way Doc used to draw capes, and man, it's just whoa. So anyway, that skill I used to. Man, this is really getting deep. So because people couldn't pick me out necessarily, they knew the art was good, and I always got great reviews on art. Um, they knew the art was good, but it wasn't like, oh well, this is a Ray Anthony Height thing. Like it's not, oh, that's my favorite artist or whatever. Like say my boy Kari Randolph. You could pick a Kari Randolph piece anywhere,
Facts.
right? Like truly. Um, but so it wasn't until so I used to feel some kind of way about that, but I knew it was a purpose. It was a method behind my madness. And when I did have a chance to flex, like when I was on Superb with David F. Walker, Dr. Sheena Howard, Joseph Illich, and Desiree Rodriguez, and um, we did some great work. But that was me. That wasn't me doing somebody else. That was me, and that was the most free I'd ever been. And Joe had the foresight. He was like, "Yeah, we want to hire you not only to do the interiors, but this is your book. Like you're going to launch the book. This is your book. You're going to do covers." It was the best time as a freelancer I'd ever had because I got to be me and I got to develop the characters and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't until recently where Torrin Clark, who is also he is an art scholar.
Mm.
He loves music and all that, but his I would say Torrin is an art intellectual, easily, and one of my favorite people. And so I'm not saying that because he's one of my favorite people. He's one of my people because of it,
Mm.
right? So we'll have these conversations, and he's like, dude, no one else can do what you do because you can do any style. And I was like, you know what? Until like he made me feel good about that ability
Mm.
because he doesn't call me by my name. He calls me Maestro. And he's like, so it's like, okay, all right, I'll accept it. But because he's somebody who, when I first met Tor in years, I knew he was going to blow up. And so it was like, dude, you're killing it. So that made me think better about being a chameleon in that way. So much better. And then it made me think, oh shit. I don't know if I can, but
You're good, bro.
Arthur Adams said the same thing to me.
Mm.
Yep. And so he's like, Arthur was like, I can't do what you do. Um, this is what I do, and I can't do anything but this, right? So, but yeah, it was Arthur's good people too, and love that guy. So, this is the thing, man. Like when you're in this space and you are an illustrator and you love the craft of storytelling and you love comics, there are artists that it is entirely about them, and then there are artists that it's about the craft,
Mhm.
and you can tell fairly quickly, what those their mentality is. So yeah, yeah.
Word. So that's a great ethos, right? Like just a great North Star to kind of keep you going in on the path, for your art and for your creativity. Um, and with that, I want to rewind and kind of understand how you came to be this way, right? Like, because you've been in the game for a minute and you've done so
20
much.
years.
Man, that's
20
wild.
years.
I can't think of anything that I've done for 20 years. I was,
Breathe.
yeah, I've done that. I've definitely done that. But man, like to find something that you love enough to one, like break through and make it a career, but then to stick with that, for 20 years, that's insane. So like what were the inspirations? Like how early did you know like this is what I want to do in my life?
Probably, I knew I liked it by 10. Like I was always drawing.
Hmm.
I was always drawing, and mostly I used the drawing to escape from the stuff outside. Growing up in Compton during the 80s and the 90s, it was crazy. That was how I kept myself sane. Just drawing and doing all that stuff. Like that. That was it. That was me. Um, but I was drawing from coloring books. So my cousin introduced me to comics when I was 10, but I was already kind of watching the Spider-Man old school 60 something motion comic, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, with the classic song. So to me, Spider-Man was a cartoon. It wasn't a comic. And then my cousin put me up on a game. And I was just like, no, this is a comic book,
Hmm.
right? I love Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Like that was my jam. All of that stuff. So when I discovered it was comics, I was like, oh man. I said, yeah, people get paid to do this. So, I was just drawn from it. But even then, that's when the love affair started. That's not when I knew I could do it.
Okay.
I would say when the New Warriors came out and Night Thrasher. Night Thrasher was like, because I was already creating my own characters. Like, I was writing and drawing my own stuff. I would say from 16 on, maybe even 15.
Hmm.
So with a group of friends. So yeah, we were writing and drawing a bunch of stuff. We had a little mini studio. And but when I saw, like I said, when I saw Night Thrasher, it was in 1991, 92.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, this is basically Black Batman, but a teenager.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh. So I was like, okay, excuse me, there's hope. There's hope. Like, and I didn't know that I was looking for representation until I had representation.
Right.
Right. So New Warriors, I love the book and it is definitely part of my DNA as a creator. But then I saw Static in '93.
Yeah.
And I had recently said, I said, seeing Night Thrasher gave me hope, and then seeing Static gave me inspiration, right? So by the age of 19, I was, you know, doing my own books, but I only got there after I saw Black Enterprise magazine,
Yeah.
and it had, the Milestone Founders on it.
The milestone founders and the big old hardware in the back.
Okay, right? I gave my son my long box, and it has
Hmm.
that in there. So, but now that gave me my mission. I want to do comics. So '93 is when I absolutely knew I wanted to do it professionally.
Got you. So
Yeah.
it's funny. I just finished doing a video about milestone and just kind of what that representation meant to the world. And for me, I have a weird relationship with it because I shouldn't say weird, but I came upon all this stuff way later. And so I learned about it almost from like a historian perspective.
Mm,
And so it's like, you watch all the documentaries, you talk to the people, you try to get as much of a feel for what it was like to be in that moment as you can, but you're never there,
yeah.
right? And but what I find fascinating about Milestone is I have not met a creator that was not completely floored by Milestone's impact. Like there are
Yes,
so
sir.
many people that I have met that it's like, no, when I saw that, that's how I knew one, like I could do it, and that this is what I was like destined to do.
I said those exact words. Yeah, exactly.
It's wild. And
Mm,
so I don't know, man. We talk, I mean, diversity and equity and all that, like it's all buzzwords right now, but you can't really measure that impact. It's not sales numbers, it's not in like, you know, anything else. There's no way to quantify it, but it's like
that's the beauty
you
of it.
feel it.
Yeah, it's all a feeling.
Mm,
Like you, I would say if you came into comics in 2019,
mhm.
and then I get the sense based on everything you're saying, you had a voracious appetite for comics.
Yeah.
When you found those milestone books, how did you feel?
Yo, so it's wild. I talk about this a lot. So my first comic, the comic that made me like a Wednesday warrior was House of X. And that was coming out every week.
That was a good one.
And so I mean it was great. And it was just kind of a perfect entryway. I didn't
Yeah,
realize most comics don't come out weekly and all that. But it got me in the habit and all that. But for me, it was just I was gonna read Batman, I was gonna read X-Men, like no matter what. And then because that was what I was familiar with from all the animated shows when I was a kid.
definitely.
And so I remember Static Shock, the cartoon, because it was a big deal. We're watching cartoons on Saturdays. Oh snap! There's a black kid. He looks like me. Like this is dope. But I didn't realize it was a comic, and it wasn't until there was like that movie rumor. They were saying Jaden Smith was going to play Static,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
I
then
remember that.
like so that issue one like shot up on eBay, and I was like, oh, I should probably grab one, but I'm not paying $100 for a comic book, and so I bought a bunch of Icon instead. And when I finally read it, when I read that first four issues of Icon, it was just like, yo, like this comic, it was like the writer understood me. And
Yes.
it felt like it was speaking directly to me in the voice of like my friends and family. And I didn't know comics could like speak to me like that. Like I'm totally like used to like, okay, that was a dope Batman story. Or yeah, I love like when Wolverine popped the claws out, like, yeah, it's all resonant, it's cool. But like a comic being cool and a comic being like emotionally hitting and gripping and like making you feel seen, like that was a different
Yes.
experience. And when I felt that, I was like, I need all of it. And here we are.
That's the shift.
Yeah.
That's what comics is supposed to do. You
Yeah.
know, that,
It's
that's it.
it's amazing. It's amazing. And the legacy's still going.
And it should go. It should
Yeah.
continue to go. And I mean, it's recently you saw the talks where it's like, uh, why are we putting so much emphasis on milestone when we should be focusing on independent books? I was buying independent books and milestone at the same time. Today is no different.
Right. Yeah, I think, the value of a kid, first of all, if a kid walks into a comic shop, that's a miracle in its own,
Yeah,
right?
especially nowadays.
Right. And so if there's a kid that like stumbles upon, whatever it is, Static or Rocket or whoever
Mhm.
on the shelf, same with Miles, same with Black Panther, is like that's amazing. Any opportunity for a kid to see themselves, like that's a win.
Yeah,
Now, if Midnight Tiger ends up in a comic shop, like amazing. Like I would love to see that. Like I feel like I'm sure that's everyone's goal, right? And I think when we start talking about like the support this versus that, I don't know, man. I've been black my whole life, right? And so
right.
like support black businesses, like that's always been a thing and whatever. And it's like sometimes people are asking you to support like just because they're black. And it's like, I feel you, like you're my brother, but like the to go plates, like they're not hitting like that. Like,
Right, right,
it,
right.
and that's
Call
not
it.
to disparage anybody's art, but I'm just saying like sometimes it has to be more than just cooperative economics that keeps us at the table, you know. And so for Milestone to do a deal with DC to kind of guarantee that visibility for the time that they had it, it's like that's genius.
Mhm.
That that's necessary.
You can't beat that.
Say that again.
You can't beat that. Like they had a deal that is not going to be duplicated. At
Right.
least not at DC.
Yeah. Yeah. The closest thing we've got is Unique Studios and Lion Forge
Exactly.
in Dark
Yes.
Horse right now, and
Yep.
they're killing it. Like
Yes.
those books are great, and they come out in graphic. Like all the stuff that people like complain about with American comics, it's like they're doing it right.
Yeah.
But it's like all of that is amazing. All of that is progress. And don't get me wrong, like I read indie comics all the time. Like you see, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok,
I
that's
do.
that word. Well, that's where you'll see them most often. Because it's like if somebody sends something to the PO box, like I'm gonna give it a shot. You know, and there are amazing creators doing great things. And what I wish for you all is that visibility. And some of that just comes with creativity. Some of that comes with, being okay giving up a percentage or whatever it's gonna be, you know. But I don't think we gotta shoot anybody down for you to get a spot.
No, there's no point in that. I mean, really, the thing is distribution. And it's funny, it's like, well, I would love to have, when you said you'd love to see Midnight Tiger in the shops. In 2014, actually, the first run of Midnight Tiger came out in 2014. And it was distributed by Action Lab Entertainment. So
Mm.
it was on the shelves. I have pictures of like Midnight Tiger next to Marvel, like it was like Nightcrawler and all the other kind of stuff.
Wow.
And I have this thing, and it was like, if your book can't sit next to those seamlessly, then you need to go and retool it. And it was like people were picking it up. That's how the groundswell got big.
Mm.
Because all it takes is for somebody to type in your name in Google.
Yeah.
And right, so if somebody's seen my work in Marvel, that's how they were finding Midnight Tiger stuff. If you could go to eBay right now and type in Midnight Tiger, and you probably see the original run.
Word.
So what we're doing is a reboot, and it had never been collected. So we have a hardcover or in trade paperback. That's what we're doing right now through me. We
Mm.
originally did it at CEX Publishing,
Okay.
but CEX is no more, and so I bought everything back, especially at the time started my own company.
Word.
It was
So
perfect.
it's funny because like the I scour Comic Hub every week. Like so when I see something on FOC that looks dope, then or to go straight to my shop. And I saw that Midnight Tiger hardcover through, I believe that was through CAX when I saw
Yep.
it. And it just never got delivered. I just assumed it was like, Diamond shenanigans because Diamond closed shortly after that.
It
And
sounds like I owe you one. It sounds like CEX didn't get it, or I bought all the stock and they never sent it to you. So
well,
we're gonna rectify that.
listen, thank God you were able to get the stock
Yeah,
because
true.
there's a lot of people that, that stuff is just held up
I
in
know.
bankruptcy right now, which is crazy.
I have friends that are dealing with that, man, and I tell you, I thank my lucky stars. Not only did I have the capital to get it to buy it, but it was with someone who I trusted all the way till when they dissolved their company.
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
So, and I know I was lucky. I know I was lucky with that, you know.
for
So
sure.
yeah,
For sure. So you saw static and was all right, I can do this. Right.
yeah.
What does even that the path in look like for you?
This one it gets crazy. So I told you Static was 93,
Mhm.
um, or really Black Enterprise. And I must have poured over that magazine. So in 93, I was 18, I believe. And so me and my group of friends, I was telling you we were writing and drawing and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, we decided to make our own comic, our own ash can. Sold out. So, I was like, not only can I do it myself. And I was submitting pages and stuff.
Right.
I had Black Panther pages that I submitted one time. And I got a lot of looks. But and at 21, I was actually talking to Marvel, but it didn't pan out.
Okay.
But I was hot on the independent circuit. I was doing all kind of little independent stuff and my own stuff at the same time. So I would say around, excuse me, around man, I wish I just had a marker. But let's say I was at a convention. I was definitely in my mid 20s, and I just had a kid, and I was at a show with a small group of friends. We were all working together. We had a small studio, different from my previous studio with my friends.
Okay.
And some dude walked past, really eyeballing the work that we had on the table. It's cool. I was like, this dude look familiar. Uh, and then he's like, you know what? Here's my card. Give me a call, and I might have something for you. That dude was Denys Cowan,
Wow.
and that's how Denys became my mentor. So yeah,
So, it's Black History Month. So as if I need an excuse to talk about Denys Cowan.
yeah,
But,
right.
but really just to put respect on Dennis's name. Not that anyone's taking it off.
Hmm.
But Dennis is probably the creator I've met with like just the most gravitas.
Yeah,
And
he's got that. He's got that effect on people.
yeah, and I've tried to figure it out because it's like, we're friendly. We've been friendly for years. Uh, you know, to the point that his sister is auntie, and like, it's a good
Oh,
time when we see each other, right?
right.
But every time I see Dennis, like I still feel nervous and like starstruck. And I've been trying to like place what is that? And I think what I've come to realize is that Dennis really feels the weight of his position and responsibility
He does.
in comics, and he carries it really well. And so it's like when you're around Dennis, it just feels like you got to step your game up. Like
Hmm.
we're not playing. Like, what is it like to be mentored by Denys Cowan?
Everything you just said. Everything you just said. It's like you feel both inspired by this man and intimidated at the same time.
Mm,
And then when he drops knowledge on you, at least for me, it stayed with me to this day. And I am the mentor of other people, and I give them the same game. Like the education I got from Dennis, and if you ever talk to him, he'd be like, "Oh no, Ray was already fully formed." No, Ray wasn't. Um, what Dennis did was restructure what I had,
mm.
and he's the person I don't think I've ever even said this. I always had a thirst for learning, but Dennis kind of made me a fiend.
Mm.
Like I learn from everything, and I go far and wide to learn more information. So yeah, I would say that's what I got from Dennis, um, and understanding what our purpose is as storytellers,
That's interesting, right? Like putting you two next to each other because Dennis's work is so stylized.
isn't it though?
You can tell a Dennis Page like from a mile away. But like you said, like when you really get him talking and you start hearing about his influences and like the stuff that he ingests, like and the value that he finds in so many different people's styles and storytelling methods.
Yes.
And it's like, how do you even how do you even take in all this? Like, but anyway, all that to say, it's like he draws from such a myriad of inspiration and sources,
Mhm.
and I can see how that's beneficial to someone like you, right?
Yeah.
Like I can see how you take to that because it's like not even just like okay, let me take this and absorb this for my style, but just to have that many styles, you have to be someone who is just like hungry, you know. And so that's dope to be able to be like, hey, pass me that. What's oh, I've never seen this before. Because Dennis is definitely a type of person that'll hand you something you've never seen before
Always.
and be like,
Always.
oh, what this? You've never seen this,
Yeah. That was such a great impression. Don't tell me you've never seen this.
right?
Right? Right? Like, well, let me educate you. But yeah, yeah. Like Dennis is that dude. And I'll tell you something funny. Like, I have nobody knows this. I don't even think so. I did a piece and I did it in Dennis's style.
Mm.
I don't know who has that piece, but I just wanted to see if I could do it. And I used to try to practice back in the day. You can, the way you break down things on somebody's style, you have to see what their essence is.
Mm.
And Dennis has a story about Jack Kirby. And he said the advice he asked, Jack Kirby about comics. And Jack told him to draw with power.
Yeah.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, and obviously like Dennis was inspired by Jack, but they don't draw the same.
At all.
Right. And Dennis worked, I believe, under Neil Adams. There's
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, right? But no, Dennis is his own man. Like, and if you ever watch Dennis draw, it's like he's got a cheat code because it's effortless. But he's drawing with power. He's drawing with full emotion. When you watch him, it's the way he draw is so intuitive. Also,
Yeah.
right? So when you get to that level, um, it is everything you learned working at play all at once, like a symphony. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing about Dennis is his faces, like his straight on
Oh yeah.
faces.
It's
Like,
kind of unbeaten for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's
But
nobody else that does it that way. I'm fortunate. I paid a grip, but it was my birthday present to myself last year. I have this icon versus hardware page
you
in
got it
front of
close
me.
by? Let me see it.
Can I have to pull it off the wall. Give me a second.
No worries.
Shout out to Command Strips making that easy.
Ha! Oh man. Look at that.
I believe this is John Stanishi on inks, but it's
Yep.
like the
Look at that. Like that what is it? The third panel.
uh huh,
Mm, mm.
and like I got Dennis to remark my one of my Black Panther books, and like you said, like you like if you like were just looking from like a table over, it's like what is this man just scribbling, and then you look and it's like
Yeah.
how you did that in like 4 seconds while talking to me about
Yeah.
something completely different, like just anyway, that's cool. You like
Yeah.
that? Like,
Right, yeah. Like, is this cool? Is this cool?
that's
Right.
cool. So, but yeah, man, that his style is unmatched, it's unbeaten. But all that to say, I just think I don't know. I don't know how we got on the Dennis Cowan Love Hour, but you know,
It's
it's
easy to go that route.
always a great time. But again, to have somebody like that on your in your corner to for him to spot you, give you an opportunity, right? Like, what were some of the assignments he had you on?
You might not want to talk about it, but
Okay.
we but we was doing some stuff for Boondock. So I would go to the Warner Brothers. I would drive to the Warner Brothers studios while they were working on Static, and Dennis introduced me to Dwayne
Okay.
McDuffie, and he introduced me to Paul Dini. He introduced me to Steve Root. All these people, and he would just have us sitting there. First of all, I was in awe at his desk. He had the coolest, like, it was like an animation desk and an easel and a thing, and it was like full, true heavy wood. It was beautiful.
Mm.
It's beautiful. That's the dream. I was like, I knew I wanted that for myself. I never still got one. Maybe one day. But so it was that, and my buddy was there because he was the other person that Dennis had asked to come up. So we were essentially trying to practice to do some Boondock stuff before Boondocks came out,
Mm.
because
Wow.
Dennis was attached to it prior.
Yes.
Um,
As a matter of fact, I
and
think he's got
so
a producer credit that whole first season because he like went and made the pilot and sold it.
yeah, yeah,
So that's dope.
yeah. So when I tell people I've been in and around Milestone for years, and because people have asked me over the year, because they see me either talking to these people or whatever, and they're like, "Are you going to be like?" Ken Lashley asked me, "Was I going to be part of the new Milestone?"
Mm.
I was like, "Nobody talked to me." This was when they did the first announcement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, "Nobody talked to me." Um, but I was there when he moved to BET. I saw the Black Panther stuff. Uh, what you guys didn't see though, they was working on a Hannibal.
Mm.
That was dope. Like, oh my God. I and I'm so sad it never came out. But that's also where I met Reggie Hudlin.
Gotcha.
And so, but yeah, I mean, those are the things that he would have us do. He would just have us drawing things, um, and really kind of feeling us out
Mm.
and giving us direction, right? Like, you should do it like this, or you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was development for sure.
Nice. I think I don't know. Again, not to make this all about Milestone, but I think that's such an underrated part of their legacy.
Yeah,
Like the talent that I mean, we talk about people that have been inspired, right? But also just the people that like it was like they definitely had that each one teach one,
oh
right?
yeah,
Like the people that they directly mentored that you would never know because it wasn't like, hey, I got a static book coming out, like I need like come make Milestone bigger,
yeah.
you know? But even like the fact that your story includes Catalyst Prime, right? Which
Mm.
was, in Joe Illage's words, is like him trying to do Milestone 2.0.
That's what he was telling me when we got it started.
And so it's like for him to have been someone that kind of came in on the streets to Milestone, starts as an intern, ends up as editor, and then moves into DC and then at Lion Forge, like it's doing all this cool stuff. And all along the way, it's like, I'm gonna open a door for somebody.
Yeah,
And at Catalyst Prime, he's like, all right, I really want like everything I learned at Milestone, like I want to really apply this. And now you're getting a book, and it's like, no, this is your book, like flex on
yeah,
this.
yes.
And it's like that doesn't happen without Dennis and Dwayne and Michael. And like it
And
doesn't
Brandon, I'm gonna
happen.
add a new layer. I'm
Mhm.
not sure if Joe knew that I was connected to them at that point.
Man.
I'm not, yeah, but you see what I mean? Like, it's all energy and circularness and all the other things. And I'm gonna go one better right now in this moment. I'm gonna say it's the book to your left.
Mhm.
Okay, so my left, you're right.
Okay.
Defiant,
This right here. Yep. You got the
right?
shelf cover right here. Sing it back. Which is an homage to the Shaft poster, which
Yep,
Dennis did an homage to the Shaft poster
yep.
as well. Like, man, that's dope. Sorry. mean to interrupt your story.
No, no, no. That's what I wanted you. You did exactly what I wanted you to do, right? So,
Mm,
so think about that. That's me. That's me doing that. And Dennis did an homage to a Shaft poster.
mm,
I got one better. I got the original. So they hired Studio Sky Tiger initially to work with Rob Edwards. Rob Edwards knows Dennis.
mm.
Dennis recommended me and Nick Draper Ivy.
Wow. This is Nick Draper Ivy on the cover, by the way, for you guys.
You see? You see? So that that's incredible. And I'll go even more. Dwayne and Dennis did a Prince comic
Yes.
years ago.
That's in a box in my storage room.
Now, what did they hire me to do for Milestone in History? The Prince story.
Prince story. Crazy.
It's crazy.
That is wild.
Yep.
Man. So
So,
you're getting world class education
mm.
and connections from Dennis. And what do you do with it? Like, how do you carry it forward?
I create Studio Sky Tiger comics, and I try to use my knowledge, my influence, my experience to try to help other people who wouldn't otherwise get an opportunity like me.
Hmm. Okay, so let's talk about Studio Sky Tiger, which is what we were here to talk about the whole time anyway. But
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
you know, but
Wow.
we're here because Studio Sky Tiger is relaunching the website, and it looks great.
Yes.
By the way, the screenshots I've seen look great. That is.
Thank you.
Um, but a lot of times, people will come into the game, especially now, right? Like we're coming into, media post Bad Boy Rockefeller. So it's like everybody comes in the game owning their own label. Sorry to use
Yes.
music analogies,
I,
but
I do it all the time.
okay. So, my point just being every indie creator has their own sort of imprint. This is the brand that I'm coming in the game with.
Yeah.
And so it's like you got a book called Midnight Tiger, Studio Sky Tiger. Okay, cool. This is just this guy's banner, right? Is what you might assume.
Right.
But like you said, Studio Sky Tiger is a studio and you do employ people and you are like a full on like comics services company.
Yep.
Like, it's like it's art for hire, it's a production company, if you will. What was the impetus for taking this outside of just okay, here's my comic, here's my idea, here's a name to sell it under, and like no, let's really open this up and make this something? Where'd that come from?
It started with people asking me, "Hey, you got time to do this project? Hey, you got time to do this project?" While all the while I'm trying to build Studio Sky Tiger and get my own brand out. And I was thinking, wait a minute, with people asking me to work on their projects, giving amateurs, people who I'm mentoring, an opportunity to actually know what it's like to work with the big tops, with the big boys. I'm going to have that meld together.
Yeah.
So not only can I do that work and our other work at the same time, people are getting, it's like a paid internship.
Mm.
And so DC DC wasn't the first, but they were the biggest to hire us. So like we did the Aquaman tie-in, but at that point they can only use my name.
Mm.
So it's got my name on it, but that's a Studio Sky Tiger project. And we did the Black Manta story. Then we got hired to do what is it, Milestones in History.
Mm-hmm.
Something was going on with the studio during that time, so I didn't have a chance to actually use any of my people, so that was all me.
Gotcha.
And then what do we do next for DC? Because wait, what do we have? Because it wasn't Batman and the Signal yet. I think it was something else before then.
Let's see. there's the power company. They did the Rise of the Power Company, and then the Power Company Recharged, which had like was basically like the big anthology.
Right.
But there's also, let's see, you did Shadow Cabinet.
Okay. So that's okay. That's what it was. So it was uh Rise of the Power Company first. And so we did that. That was definitely the studio because TJ Bell did some inks. Next Veerling did some inks. I'm naming people in the studio. Um, let's see, Marquise Anthony Dennison wasn't a part of the studio on that one. Who else was in there? Elisa Del Castillo. They all provided inks
Mm.
on that joint, and you know, us doing it that was pretty big. I didn't think it was going to be as big. The best part for me was getting to work with Vita.
Mm.
I love Vita's work, so I was like, oh, this is going to be fun, and we had a ball. We had a straight up ball. So and the crew enjoyed it too
So,
because I would say, Brandon, everybody in the studio they want to work for DC.
right.
And the first thing they do in the studio is work on Batman. They was geeked out.
So let me ask you this, like the sort of average age for people in your studio, like, because I once had a goal back when I was in the music industry. My goal was to open up a studio, like a recording studio, but it was basically going to be an after school program. So we got like an A room, B room, graphic designers, like, and basically you come to the studio to, knock out tracks, get album art, all that stuff. But the
Absolutely.
people who are recording your sessions are like high school kids, and they're getting their first, studio credits. And maybe somebody ends up like engineering like a Grammy track or something. And it's like, hey, that's just somewhere safe for them to be after school, and they get real world experience. And maybe they take that and go to like an arts college or like a Full Sail or something like that, and have a leg up with production credits under their belt. Um, so when you're talking about the studio, it sounds like that, but I'm curious to hear like,
It is very much like that.
mm,
Except our youngest, which I don't know if Next has the uh, the record right now, but must be fairly close. So Next Veerling is my protege, and they are when they did the book, they were 16 years old.
wow,
Yep, 16.
that's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, they have that to put in their pocket because I think that I I don't know if there was any other teenager that has worked on any DC property in the last 30 years.
You're probably right. I'm gonna share my screen real quick so we could just kind of put a spotlight on your studio talent.
Oh, beautiful.
So this is a screenshot from the new Studio Sky Tiger website, and here are the members.
Oh, look at those beautiful faces.
Right,
I love
man. This guy looks familiar with the orange lanyard.
them. That's my boy. That's Jamal Anansi. So let's get into it.
Okay,
I mean, all of them. I love everybody like their family. Jamal Anansi has such a great story, and he should actually be on your show at some
mm.
point. But
I'm always down. I'm always looking for new guests. So
you can interview alone. But Jamal is a writer. Excuse me. He's our resident writer, and but he recently had gotten out of prison.
mm,
He's from the city. He's from Compton. So me, Jamal Anansi, and Marcus Newsom are from Compton.
okay,
Jamal will tell you Compton and Watts. He got to put the Watts in.
mm,
So he gets out, but while he was in prison, all he could do was think about writing comic books. He's a huge fan of Jason Aaron and Jonathan Hickman, and you know, and so he is actually writing comics in prison.
wow,
And then he gets out, he sees me, He's like, I heard you from Compton, this is that, we talk about this thing. And he has nothing at that point. He's just interested. He's gathering information. He's trying to figure out how to do this. Now, I hear a lot of people like, oh, Ray, I would love to do comics. I got this comic idea I want to do, blah, blah, blah. I hear it over and over again. I see nothing. Brandon, I kid you not. Every time I talked to him, he had something new. And like, he had 8-page anthology. Everything I told him to do, he did.
Mm.
And then when I officially like started the studio, we were talking and I said, well, and he even started his Anansi comics because he had his own comics and he was actually tabling.
Mm.
This is a year and a half out of prison.
Wow.
So we're talking and I was like, yeah, eventually, I'll be thinking about branching out, maybe getting an imprint. He was like, I want to go right now. I want to be imprint of Studio Skye Tiger Comics right now. Excuse me. So I'm like, it's early. I said, we're new. We haven't even put out our first stuff yet. I mean, we had WTF Mama, which is doing pretty good, like really good. And that's my wife, Shayla Heights book, and we do the art for it. And that book sells really, really well. But that was our first official publish.
Mm.
He's like, no, I already know this is going to be big. Let's go. And I was like, okay, let's go. And then Marcus Newsom, who I've known for a minute, he has been bugging me to be his mentor for a minute. So I was like, all right. And he's like, we should do a book together. All of us from Compton, And I was like, that's a good idea. But I was busy. So, and it took a minute, but we ended up coming together on a book called Sincere American Nightmare.
Mm.
And that book has sold 100 copies so far.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Jamal is an amazing writer. And one of his books that's going to be on the site is Ebony in the Hall of Dragons.
Okay.
That's going to be a great book. It's fantastic.
That's a dope dragon bot on it. Like, that's a great cover.
That's the one. Yes, that's it.
That's dope.
Those are our books.
So I wasn't going to ask this, but Compton keeps coming up, right? It's essential to the story of your studio, right? And
it's essential to us, yes.
Right. But all I know of Compton is, West Coast rap.
Yes.
Right. And so I think, especially for people of different communities, right? Like there's a sort of fetishization of, inner city life and certain locales, right? I've never been to Compton, just like I've never been to Staten Island or Flatbush, right?
Oh, yeah.
Spent plenty of time in Queens, right? But, there are certain areas that it's like, okay, I don't know this, right? But even like now, like kids have like this obsession with O Block in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. For me, the inner city is the inner city. Everywhere I've been in the inner city, it's like, that's what it feels like. But because of like West Coast rap, when you hear Compton, it just sounds like a war zone. And you've, made the statement that like comics saved your life growing up in Compton and in an especially like turbulent period.
Yes,
like,
no doubt.
How does the city that raised you, like, what role does it play in this story? And, how were comics a haven for you?
How do I start this? It's a good question.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
That's man. I grew up all in that time. Compton is such a part of everything that I do and everything that is comics to me, because it is the thing that doesn't get reflected in the comics. And I was looking for that. So when I'm doing comics, especially how I navigate in the business, I've seen so much growing up that I can't really be intimidated. Like, and we have stories too. There's a lot of blurs in Compton. Just listen to the rappers. Hip hop and comics go hand in hand. like Midnight Tiger takes place in a place that's like Long Beach and Compton.
Mm.
Technically, it is Long Beach, but because of what goes on in that city, the barrier that the magical barrier that's over it, it's transformed it, it's terraformed it into something that we call Apollo Bay. That's Compton.
Mm.
When Vita and I put, Jace and the Signal playing spades, that's Compton, right? So it's in everything I do. As a matter of fact, both Marcus and Jamal call me Dre. I'm the Dre of comics.
That makes
And
all the sense in the world.
right, I did when they said it, it made me laugh first,
Mm.
but I was like, that fits.
So then that means that the question now is who's DJ Quick? Like who's about to come out and be like, yeah, I did everything.
Jamal.
Mm.
Jamal is. I would say Jamal is quick. Quick is always authentic. Who else? Um, Marcus. Marcus actually does everything as well, but he's one of the nicest people you would meet. And see, for me, I am a nice person until I'm not. Right? I'm more strategic.
Mm.
Right? Jamal is he's definitely, we're definitely hood guys. We all hood guys, but Jamal has a little more of an edge.
Mm.
And Marcus is nicer. He's the nicest between all three of us.
I don't know. We're gonna talk. I want to talk about Midnight Tiger. We'll probably just do a second interview at some point to really just kind of dive in.
Yes, and when I'm feeling better, because that way I could go. I could really, talk. Like
Yeah.
right now, I'm trying to be very strategic and limiting my words.
Listen, we all need that skill. Right? It's good practice. But
It is. I'm forced though. I'm forced, Brandon, right now.
but not in all seriousness, right? Like just talking about, what your hometown means to you and, what Compton, like how Compton enters all your comics, right? Like I think, I don't know, everybody should have a place that feels like that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, like what Compton is to you is like to me the same thing that like just it's like what I get from Stephanie Williams comics. It's
I
just
love
like
Steph.
right. And it's like her work is just always going to hit you like, and it's subtle. It's not like over the head, over the top. It's just like, but this feels like home, right? It's a
Yeah,
little piece of like
I
that
love
same
that.
stuff that made me feel icon, you know? And I think that's the value of, representation in comics. It's like, it's not, oh, we got 4 Black characters this month. It's like, no, this comic feels like home. And that's the point. Like, not to say like we want to just replicate whatever we see in the streets all the time, but
Right.
To have a character like Gavin,
Yeah.
right, who definitely gives me big Spider-Man vibes, and just because he's Black, I guess also gives me big Static vibes, right? Like
Yeah.
it's all there. But I think the part that really got me, and I'm still working my way through this origin, but is when he gets in trouble with his dad.
Oh yeah.
He gets in trouble with his dad. He gets the lecture and all like, and his dad's about to walk out the room and he comes back in. He's like, "Hey, son, I love you, right?" And it's just like that feels like home, and it's something you don't see. Like you don't get that for whatever reason in mainstream comics a lot of the time.
No, you don't.
And yeah, so we'll have to do a part 2. First of all, I got to finish Midnight Tiger so we can really dive in,
Yeah.
But it's I don't know, man. It really just resonates, right? And there's a lot we've been talking about milestone, and there's all these through lines, and it's like all of that just kind of collides in that book. So we'll just put a pin in that. We'll talk about that,
You ain't look. How far are you? Can you say how far you are?
How far am I? Let me look. I'm fairly close to the beginning of the Origins hardcover. I'm on. Ooh, yeah,
Oh, it sounded like you saw something. Wait.
that's how far I've gotten. Right.
Oh yes, 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 yes. Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's you're in for some stuff. I'm just telling you,
word.
you're in for some stuff. I mean, we went to Compton High School and did a presentation, and we gave out books. I gave out issue 0. It looks like you're in issue 2 at this point,
I
and
think so.
yeah, I think you're in issue 2. And a young lady ran like we finished our presentation, and I could see her start reading the book. She had a hardcover,
Mm.
and by the time we were taking the tour, she ran up to me, Marcus, and Jamal, and she said, "How could you?" Looking dead at me.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I knew what she meant. I knew, because everybody who reads it tells me the same thing.
Don't make me
And
mad.
yeah, yeah, I am. I'm gonna make you mad. I'm sorry. I'm apologize up front.
Okay. All right.
I'm apologize, but you'll see the method to a madness. You'll see it. But it'll also make you want to come back when I start Evo,
Okay.
right? Because that's like the relaunch slash reboot slash continuation.
Okay. And Evo is going to be coming out as a web comic on the website, right?
Yes, and then we're going to collect it for the Kickstarter backers, and they're going to have an exclusive. It'll be our only book that's in color on purpose.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, because we're going to go through basically full anthologies. That's how our print copies or our prints. It's Studio Skye Tiger Presents is our main anthology,
Okay.
and Regulus is our mature readers.
Okay.
So
So
those are the books we're
this
going to be printing.
so this sort of like Shonen Jump model, right?
Bingo, you got it, man. I like on the nose. You got it.
I was gonna ask like why that model as opposed to like individual Kickstarter projects? Is it just to flex like because we got it all? Like what makes you choose that model?
Everything you're thinking right now, yes, because we have horror, we have like irreverent comedy with basically WTF Mama,
Hmm.
uh, which looks like a cute cartoon,
Hmm.
but 85-year-old grandma who builds her own cars and stuff like that. Nobody's seen that in comics,
Right.
and she's hilarious.
It looks like for those of you who haven't seen it, it looks like Medea meets like Spidey and his amazing friends. Like
Yes,
it's crazy.
it's crazy. And people when we're at shows, everybody gravitates towards it. If not for the name, for Nanita,
Hmm.
right? So we got that. We have Ebony and the Hall of Dragons. That's a dark fantasy, right? We have I think I told you about the horror, which is a book called Bloodsuckers by Jamal Anansi. Delilah is by T.J. Bell. This is all going to be part of Regulus.
Okay.
And then we have Lightning Strike, which is Compton's Hometown Hero by Marcus D. Newsom,
Nice.
right?
Now, the other question I have for you in reference to Studio Sky Tiger, right? Because I think it's dope to have like mainstream opportunities and share them with people. But like, how do you sort of build name reputation when you're creating work as a? It's like it's not like a lettering house,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not necessarily like okay, we got virtual calligraphy or and world design, but you guys are like it's all right. You got penciler, inkers, colorists. Like you're just gonna get a finished page
Yeah.
from my studio. How does an editor trust your studio style? Like, do you just assign an individual artist, or like, how does that work?
It depends on what. So we have a packet that we send out to potential clients. They can choose what services they want, and they can pick based on what they see what styles they're interested in. Mostly, I'll do the layouts, but we have people in our studio who can do all kinds of stuff. When it drops on March 1st, and you get the chance to click on those faces that you posted up,
Uh,
you'll see what they're capable of. And we run the whole board. Plus, we have people right now that's trying to get into the studio. I don't want to grow too fast,
yeah,
but people are interested.
that's fly. And then I don't know. I'm just trying to quantify or understand the value, right? Like produced by the Ummah,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
so it's like, okay, well, there's Q-Tip, there's Ali, there's JD in there somewhere. And at some point the question becomes who does what? Who should get the credit? Like who is the star, right? How do you avoid that sort of syndrome in this big collaborative environment?
Everybody gets their own assignment. So TJ Bell is currently working on a series. So it'll be Studio Sky Tigers TJ Bell,
Mm,
right? So if somebody gets a series, that's what it's going to be if that person is doing the entire thing or
okay.
the line art or whatever it is. So like look if you look at what is it? Uh, not Absolute Power. The other one. What's the other one? The last one.
Oh, the power company, the
Yeah,
recharge?
Recharged.
Okay, yeah.
Recharge, it's billed as Ray, Anthony Height, and Studio Sky Tiger,
Yes.
right? So that's it. And so when you see Studio Sky Tiger, you already know you got me.
Mm,
And then it's going to be a name. So if somebody else does it, it's going to be their name. If we all do it, then it's either going to be Studio Sky Tiger or Ray Anthony Height and Studio Sky Tiger.
got you. Got you. That's dope. I've not seen it. Maybe I have and just didn't know it. But
Maybe.
to my knowledge, I have not seen um a comic studio doing this.
You could thank
Like,
DC. I mean, DC is the one that really that put us on the map.
mm, yeah, that's dope. But like just I don't know, again, the sort of in my opinion, the greatest piece of Milestone's legacy is the talent that they brought into the industry. Like that's the one thing you can't take from them. It's like, okay, well, they saw John Paul Leon first. Like they saw Criss Cross. Like
Humberto Ramos.
right? Like they had that talent, right? When you even Bernard Chang and like
Yes.
when you start talking about like all the people that came out of Michael Davis' studio and like just so for me, I feel like that's such a great that speaks to character, like the character of the people running the company. Because we ascribe human elements to companies all the time, like, oh, it's like a big family, right? But the people making the decisions, actively invested in the lives of others, invested in their lives, invested in their skill, invested in their craft, and, really gave up the game so that, you could be a part of another generation doing the same thing for others. And I just don't see very often that people extending the hand. Like I'll hear about like, okay, I went to a con, I saw this person and such, and they kind of passed my name along to an editor. But I have not seen someone creating opportunity at scale like that and building for home. So like, I don't know. That's dope. I really commend what you're doing, and not like I commend what you're doing. Like, oh, that's a great charity you're running. But like, no, like that. It really it means a lot. I don't know if anybody like sees what you're doing or sees the vision or understands it. But
Some
like,
people, yeah,
just
some people.
the more you tell me about it, the more I see it. I'm like, yo, that is insane. Like that is awesome. So man,
And everybody is mentored by me. Everybody you see there has been mentored by me. So, and like I said, we already talked. We discussed who gave me the game.
right, right,
I'm just paying it forward. I mean, Dennis himself have even told me it's like, I like what you're doing. Like I'm a fan of what you're doing. That was big for me. It put me on pause when he said that because he's somebody who sees it.
yeah,
Not everybody sees it, but when certain people do, you know, the the vision changes,
mm,
right? Because this is, they keep telling me like, Ray, this is bigger than you. Like you're doing something incredible. And when I started this, I'm just doing me.
yeah,
I'm doing what I think is right. It's it's not that it's not strategic in some capacity, but
Mm-hmm.
the impetus of it, the inspiration for it. Like I'm inspired by manga studios. I'm inspired by anime studios. That's impetus, right? And one of the things is I also like to give credit where credit's due. So somebody says, "Hey Ray, can I share this, page from the studio that I ink?" Absolutely. Make sure your name's on it. Get your credit, you know?
Yeah, let's fly. Let's fly. Well, look, I think that's a good note to leave on, right? Just understanding the legacy, paying it forward. Um, what is the website URL? How can people reach this new site that's just launching today?
StudioSkyeTiger.com. Skye spelled Skye.
Okay.
That's it. That's
All right.
it.
All right. So no dashes, just
No,
Studio Skye Tiger.
that's it, man. And I forgot. I thought it was a 29 day February.
Oh,
It is.
okay.
So instead of Monday, it launches Sunday.
Got you. Okay. No worries. Wait,
Yeah.
this, you said, wait, you thought it was 20. I was like, wait, is it 29 days? It's
No,
20.
it's not.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
but it's still gonna launch on the first.
Dope. Dope.
Yep.
Well, listen, by the time this interview goes live, the new Studio Skye Tiger website is also live. So I don't know who watches this channel. I have no idea. But if you're a
A lot
comics
of people.
editor, you're looking for talent, check out the website. If you're looking for something new to read, there's web comics on this website that you can read
Yes.
right now. You might find your new favorite. I already told y'all how I feel about Midnight Tiger, and I'm only on issue 2. So there's a lot to discover. I'm probably, as you're listening to this, on the website right now, trying to find my next favorite, and you should do the same. So, StudioSkyeTiger.com. And Ray, where can they find you on social media?
I'm at RA Height or yeah RA Height Comics on Instagram. Studio Skye Tiger Comics on Instagram. That's the studio IG. I do have a TikTok that I don't use, but I believe it's RA Height or Studio Skye. One of them. Let me see. And Facebook. It's just Ray Anthony Height or Ray A Height on Facebook.
Dope. Dope.
So you can find me there. Yeah, look out for us, man. We're trying to do some big stuff.
You're doing it. You're doing it. It's dope. So listen, this won't be the last you hear of Ray Anthony Height or Studio Skye Tiger on this show. We'll have him back soon to talk really fun things. So, sir, thank you for your time. I really appreciate just, even the kind words about the platform. Yeah, man, this has been dope.
You're doing incredible. I want to see you continue to grow. I want to see your channel continue to grow. I mean, you're in the mix too.
I'm trying to be. I appreciate it. Well, look, y'all go to visit StudioSkyeTiger.com. Check out more interviews on the channel now. All month long or all March long, you'll be seeing my extended interviews with the team behind the Dakota incident. So for those of you who were looking for more Nicholas Draper Ivy in that breakdown, he's got a potty mouth, but you get 2 hours of Nicholas Draper Ivy in that episode. So stick around to the channel. There's a lot more where this one came from, and I'll see you in another one soon. Till then, stay safe, stay awesome, and read something dope today. Peace.